Hi guys, welcome back to another oh my god, I just burped, sorry. Episode of the Storytime Society. I'm so happy you're here. I'm so glad you're alive. Yeah, you. I'm talking about you, girl and boy. I don't know what's wrong with me. Maybe because this is my third episode, I'm starting to feel a little delusional. But anyways, the theme of this episode is relationship drama, relationship advice, updates. You know how it is. Okay? So let's get into the first story. The title is My Wife, 24 female, hid that she can't have kids, and I, 27 male, just found out after 6 years together. I don't know what to do. Me and my wife have been together for 6 years and married for 3. We've built a happy marriage and a stable and comfortable life. Once everything felt settled, we decided to start a family. From the very beginning, I was clear about wanting a big family, 4 or 5 kids, and she always said that she was on board. After a year of trying with no success, I got myself checked, and everything came back fine. That's when she sat me down for a serious talk. She finally told me that before we got together, she had a medical procedure due to some health issues, and she's known this entire time that her chances of getting pregnant were negligible. I just went numb. Everything after that felt like a blur. She broke down crying and apologized over and over. I couldn't process it. I just left despite her begging me to stay and talk. It's been 3 days. I've just been drifting around the city and staying with my sister. After a non-stop barrage of calls and messages from my wife, I snapped and destroyed my phone to get some peace. So no contact for 3 days. My sister went to our place to grab some work stuff for me and said my wife is completely shattered. She kept begging my sister to convince me to come home and talk to her. I don't know what to do. I don't even know what hurts more. Her hiding it from me for all of these years, letting me believe that we had a real chance, or the fact that I still can't bring myself to hate her. My mind keeps spiraling and I don't feel ready to face her or talk about it. I just feel lost. What should I do? Well, this is like step 1 of what you shouldn't do. I understand that it's like messed up, but you are an adult and you shouldn't be having like an actual throwing a tantrum and destroying your phone. Like, you're married, you have a wife, so you kind of have to like accept a different form of responsibility, or I guess not responsibility, but like a different level of maturity when you're literally married. And even though it hurts and this is a big thing and a big lie for someone to withhold from you, you still can't act like this. You should be having a conversation and like talking through it instead of doing this. You know what I mean? Okay, so the top comments. Someone said, just go your separate ways. You're both still young. You have plenty of time to have your big family, and she will find someone else. Opie said, I really loved her. I feel like my head is going to explode with all of the thoughts. Commenter 2 said, she says the chances of getting pregnant are negligible. Has she been checked recently? Medical advances happen regularly. Has she ever had a second opinion? Or was she just told pregnancy is unlikely? Does she want kids, or is IVF a possibility? Adoption, the fact that she hid it is atrocious, but you need to talk to her. If you want kids, she doesn't or can't, then this marriage is over. This is true, because after my mom had my sister, like after she had her first kid, and then she had an ectopic pregnancy and like near death experience, she was told that she'll never be able to have kids again, but then she went on to have my brother and then went on to have me after that. So, yeah, they can be wrong, and there can definitely be things that could help if you could afford it, but OP said, as I said, I haven't even gotten to the bottom of this. Once the truth hit me, I was like on autopilot. I didn't hear anything. I believe I should talk with her, but my mind just keeps questioning. Commenter 3 said, it's one thing if she just found this out after all of this time of trying, but to hide something like that from you, knowing that you wanted a family and she hid that very important information from you, I don't blame you for feeling lost one bit. You said you made it known from the beginning, and she basically said, oh, okay, whatever, marry me anyway. I don't know what you should do. If wanting a family is that high up on your priority list, then you have some decisions to make, and you know what you have likely to do here. That's really sad. If they do like end up breaking up, I understand, because that's obviously a huge thing. And I don't think he probably would have dated her if he knew that, I'm assuming. And obviously wanting kids and like not being able to have kids, I don't know, because it's like a different scenario as well. It's like not like she doesn't want to have kids. I feel like that's kind of different. She definitely should have been honest with him about that. I'm not saying that she shouldn't have been, but I feel like if you guys both want kids, there are other ways to acquire a family. You know? It's not like if she were like, no, I don't want kids at all, and that's something that like you really want, that would be a different scenario, because then it's like, okay, well, you guys clearly don't see eye to eye on this, and like you probably shouldn't be together, because that's a huge thing to have differences on. But anyways, there's an update 9 days later. So I posted the first one from my laptop while working, just venting everything I felt in the moment. I think it came off one-sided, so I want to give more context and clear up a few things people have been asking. Sorry if this isn't coherent. Some context about her I already knew. She's an only child. Her family lived paycheck to paycheck. Her mom left when she was 13 and her dad raised her alone. He later turned alcoholic and abusive. When we met around 18, she already had anxiety, abandonment, and trust issues. Her dad died when she was 19. Early in our relationship, I helped her get some therapy however I could, and she leaned on me for everything. After her dad passed, I moved her in, and my family became hers. A lot of you told me to face it, and my mom also called, saying the same. So the next morning, I went home. She was a mess, and the house was too. When she saw me, she just froze for a second, and then broke down and came to me crying and apologizing. I got her to sit down and calm, made something for us, and we finally talked. The part she'd hidden, when she was 16, she had surgery to remove a cyst in her ovary. There were complications that caused internal scarring, and doctors told her a toned-down version of natural pregnancy was extremely unlikely. That surgery put her dad into debt. Later, he spiraled into alcohol, stopping coming home, blamed her for being damaged goods like her mom, always effing up his life, and started harassing her. That messed her up. She never had a checkup after that. Before we met, she was broke and barely coping with everything. After we got together, she said she didn't have the courage to find out more, scared of what she might hear and terrified of losing me if I found out. She hoped for a miracle after reading stories of women getting pregnant despite similar issues. Everything fell apart when I brought up getting checked. I got myself checked secretly just to be sure so I wouldn't stress her unnecessarily. Upon hearing her out, I lost my cool and went off on her for hiding something so serious. I told her I needed space and asked her to stay with my parents for a while so I could think clearly. She broke down, begged me not to leave, said she would do anything to make it work. I dropped her to my parents' place. By day 2, I realized I genuinely missed her. The house felt empty without her. I brought her back home. What she did hurt me deeply, but I realized I couldn't just throw it all away like some of you said, because I still love her. We're not talking much right now. I'm still processing it all, taking one step at a time. Many pointed out that if she hit something this serious, she could be hiding more, and honestly, that makes me uneasy. But why are you losing your cool and going off on her when she's so vulnerable? Like, I feel bad for her. This is like such a... I understand that she like lied. I mean, I don't know. I just feel bad for her because this is like a really vulnerable thing. This is a really scary situation. And it's not like she was told that she was completely sterile and will never be able to have kids. Like there was like complications and they said like it's going to be really hard. She should have told him that. Okay. I know. But I'm just like, you're married. You shouldn't be losing your cool. I mean, okay. Maybe I'm being too hard on him, but I just feel like if you're married, you should be able to have adult conversations and talk through things and not flip out on your partner. I mean, I know that's not the case in all marriages. Like, I know that this happens, so it's like I'm being naive. I don't know, but whatever. Okay. Commenter 1. I was one of those who said if she's hiding it, then what else is she hiding? But this added information that she has massive trauma, and now I understand where she had a secret hope instead of just addressing this. Get her to a specialist. Her body might carry a child with some medical intervention. Also, she needs intense and regular counseling about her family. Her dad dying of alcoholism is not her fault. If she does the emotional work and is open with you about everything from now on, you might get through this and be a stronger couple. OP said, I'm thinking about getting counseling as everyone mentioned first and then explore options with specialist on fertility. Is this the right approach? Commenter 2 said, here's the honest truth. Women who go through significant trauma at the hands of their parents can escape into marriage young to try to feel safe. Sometimes it works, but sometimes it's just a trauma bomb waiting to explode. She had a lot of unprocessed grief and trauma that a healthy person would have dealt with before getting married. So it's not you, and it's kind of not even her. But she needs serious, deep therapy. If you love her, help her get that. I'm not a doctor, but she may have eggs that can be harvested. But she needs to deal with the trauma first. You sound like a good man. Even if you end up separating, just know that she came to you as a safe space after years of abuse. Yeah, and here you are flipping out on her and losing your cool and losing it. Don't love that. OP said, currently not thinking about separation. I'm more hurt on the lying part. I want to talk to her heart to heart with her. Everybody here is rushing me to do things, but I'm literally walking on eggshells right now. It's okay. That's why I feel like sometimes posting on Reddit is just like, it's a lot of noise because you're going to hear every person's advice and it's like, you don't know what the background of these people are. Like, you don't even know if these are good people. And you don't know if these are people that if you were to talk to them in real life, would you take advice from them? Because obviously, there's those people in your life where you're like, I don't want advice from them, actually. Like, they don't live their life the way that I would want to live my life. They don't have a life that I would want to live. And I'm not even saying this in like a condescending way, like, oh, they're not good enough. But like, some people, their lifestyle. Obviously, if one person has a certain lifestyle and I have another lifestyle, like opposite, I'm not going to take advice from that person, Like, I think that's pretty, because like, for example, my boyfriend I don't know how to explain this. Someone I'm like, how can I explain this without it being so obvious? Someone in my boyfriend's family is like very different from him, okay? My boyfriend is very mellow. He's never been like a big partier. He's never been one to like go out a lot. He doesn't enjoy drinking. He's just naturally like that. Like, he just doesn't really like doing any of that stuff. And someone in his family is like a big partier, always has really loved drinking. And I'm not saying one is better than the other. I was a big partier as well. Like, I used to drink all the time and stuff. So I'm not saying that like one is better than the other. I'm just saying an example of what I was saying previously. So this person was like the complete opposite, like loves drinking, loves going out, loves going to like Miami, like raves, crazy out till 8 a.m. vibes, and doesn't want to like settle down with a partner. And this person used to tell my boyfriend that like he should not settle down with me and like not move in with me because that is just like he should experience life first. He should go party and have fun and like drink and meet people and things like that, even though that's not something that he wanted in his life. So it's like, why would my boyfriend take advice from someone that has a completely different lifestyle and enjoys completely different things? And then also, why would that person giving him that advice think that like that's the only way that you can live your life? Like, that's the only way you should live your life. I understand saying like you should experience things before moving in with someone, of course, and you should like, do things, but you know what I mean? It's like saying, oh, you should go like do this and this and this, all the things that I like doing because this is who I am, even though you don't like doing those things. But this is the way that I think is the right way to handle things. I don't know if I'm making sense, but I wish that I could say like who and what the scenario was, but that's as good as I can be. That's as good as I can be without being too specific. Someone said, how strange that you dropped her off at your parents'. If you wanted a break, you should have just left. You have displaced her once again. Just an odd move. I know. That's what I'm thinking too. It's like you're just kind of adding to her trauma. And not to say that you should not feel like you also feel a certain way about it and you're allowed to feel betrayed and stuff. But at the same time, it's like, I feel like when you're in a marriage, you have to, like I said, you have to exhibit a different level of maturity or you shouldn't be married, even though, of course, people are not mature and still married. But that's why I'm like, don't get married before the age of 25. Before your brain develops, just don't do it. Just don't do it. Okay, well, we're going to move on to the next story. The title is, My fiance threatened to break up with me if I told her best friend's husband that his wife is cheating on him. I, male 27, have been together with my fiance, female 28, for 12 years, out of which 3 years we've been engaged. I love her a lot, and everything between us has been great. We do encounter problems now and then, but every long-term couple does, to be fair. The problem we're having right now is not so much to do with us directly, but to do with my fiance's best friend. I'll call her Beth in this post. Yesterday, while going to work, I stopped at a bakery and got some breakfast. Right across the street, I saw Beth with a guy. First, they were just talking, and I didn't think much of it, and honestly, I was busy getting my sandwich. I turned around, and they were kissing. I got my phone and took a photo. Not the most ethical thing to do, but I thought the husband might need it. I got home, told my fiance about it, and also shared the photo with her. She told me to delete the photo and just ignore it. I wasn't comfortable with this and told her that instead. I would tell her best friend's husband because if it was me in that position, I would like to know too. Her concern was that it would really damage her friendship with Beth, and that's why I should stay out of it. I disagreed, and she told me that if Beth's husband found this out from me, I should consider our relationship over. Later that day, my fiancé apologized to me that she didn't mean the breaking up part, but I really shouldn't do this, even though that would be the right thing to do. I was still a little pissed that she would just throw away a 12-year-old relationship just to hide someone else's cheating. So I told her that I would tell the husband everything, and if she wants to break up over this, then I'm fine with that. Definitely did not mean the I'm fine with that part, but I probably just said it out of pettiness and spite. I haven't told the husband yet, but all of this has me questioning my fiance's moral values and how she thinks infidelity is okay. Kinda effed up. It's 8 a.m. right now where I live, and I haven't slept all night thinking about my relationship. She did kind of double down on the breaking up part at the end if I proceeded on telling Beth's husband, so I'm very conflicted right now. How do you guys see the situation? Should I tell him knowing that it might end my relationship? I personally, and I've said this before, wouldn't tell on my best friend if she was cheating, okay? I wouldn't. But if that's something that my boyfriend, apart from me, witnessed and saw and wanted to tell, I wouldn't stop him from doing that. And I surely wouldn't say that we were going to break up for that, because that's giving like kind of she has a secret that Beth is keeping and she doesn't want him to find out. Like maybe she's cheated before and Beth has kept that secret or something. I don't know. That's kind of what it's giving. But yeah, I would let my boyfriend do what he wanted with that information, and that's something of course it's going to end up affecting, and that would suck. Like I wouldn't want that to affect my relationship with my friend and my best friend, but unfortunately you can't control what another person sees, and to just say like, oh, you need to just do this and never mention that picture and never mention what you saw with your own two eyes, I do think that is just a little too far. And also threatening to break up with him is way too far. Okay, there's an edit. Just to clear my stance, the husband will find out about this. May it be anonymously or directly from me or Beth. I completely understand that other people's relationship is not my business and I should keep out of it, but there is one more relationship here. Me and Beth's husband. We might not be close friends, but we are friends nonetheless, so I owe him this much. My fiance's moral compass is effed up and we need to talk about it, and we will, because this marriage won't work out otherwise. If this ends my relationship, then it really wasn't as strong as I thought it was, and that sucks. I have the photo saved in a safe place, and Beth's face is clear in it, so I doubt the husband will have trouble believing that it's his wife and she's cheating. I plan on talking to Beth too and telling her to come clean and do it the right way, because her secret is getting out one way or the other. Definitely not having double dates with her anymore. Honestly, like if this were me, the way that I would go about it is anonymously sending it, because I'm going to be so real. Like, yes, of course, and a lot of people don't agree with me with this, but I'm not telling. Like, my best friend from 6th grade that I've been best friends with, that has literally experienced everything in life with me, that I love to death, I'm not telling on her. I'm not telling her boyfriend. Why am I gonna do that? You know what I mean? Like, what do... But if my boyfriend's best friend, if I saw him cheating on his girlfriend, yeah, you bet your bottom dollar I'm telling her. I am. So, but the thing is, if I didn't want it to affect anything, which, is this wrong? I don't know. Is this a little bit like devious that I would want to do it anonymously so that I wouldn't have to deal with the backlash or the drama of it? I would give as much detail as possible. I would write out or type out probably like a whole letter of what happened when I saw it and stuff, and then print out the picture and, I don't know, send it in a letter or put it in their mailbox or something, or make sure that the person got it. But I would want it to be anonymous, I think, because I wouldn't want to have to deal with like the repercussions. Is that bad of me to say? She clearly knew her friend is cheating. If my boyfriend came home and told me my friend is cheating on her husband, I would probably spend hours talking/dishing about it with him. I wouldn't just tell him to ignore it. Her reaction is weird on so many levels. She knew. Now the question is, does she value her friend being a cheater more than your relationship, or does the friend have something on her? Also, I don't mean to pry, but why are you engaged for so long? Like, is the wedding on the horizon? That's exactly what I'm saying. I feel like the friend has something on her, and I can't get past that. Because if you're taking it that personally and saying that you're going to break up with him if he tells her, that's definitely giving that Beth needs to hide something for you. Okay. OP said her reaction was definitely weird as heck. Today I'll talk to her more about this and see where we both stand on the matter. Also, I don't mean to pry, but why are you engaged for so long? Is the wedding on the horizon? It's okay. We did intend to get married 2 years ago. Then COVID came around, which forced us to postpone our plans. Both of our families live abroad, and both of those countries were on the red list. So we decided to postpone until we can fly them here. All right, 2 months later, there's an update. I told the husband. At first, I thought of doing it anonymously, but then I just went ahead and told him over the phone. He has filed for divorce and his wife left. The last time I talked to him, he said that Beth won't fight over the house, their joint property, and had decided to leave. He told me that even if she comes after the house, his lawyer is confident that she won't get it because of the infidelity laws where I live. This all happened weeks ago, and he's doing better now. As for my fiance, she wasn't happy about this. I dumped her 2 days ago because she was giving me a lot of shit about how I broke her friend's home. I didn't do that. She did that to herself. We're currently talking about our living arrangements, and it will most likely be her who moves out. Happy holidays, everyone. I hope your 2022 is as good as you are. Oh my God, you dumped her 2 days ago. Jeez. That's so true, though. He didn't do that. Like, he didn't break that. She did. She's the one who was cheating. To blame him for that is definitely crazy. Someone said, good for you, dude. You did the right thing. It must have been a difficult conversation with both the husband and your fiance. Opie said, it was. It was evident by his voice that he was on the verge of crying. I wish him good luck because he deserves better. Rock You Like a Master said, she was trying to cover up and maintain a friendship with a cheater. She put a cheater above her own relationship of 10 plus years. If she advocates that kind of conduct, then she could do the same in the future. Huge red flag. So you definitely dodged a bullet. OP said, on the bright side, this decade-long relationship has taught me what not to do in my life in the future. So that's a plus. Two. All right. The top comment says, the fact that she said she would break up with him if he told the husband is crazy. You would risk your 13-year relationship for your cheating-ass friend? Person behind a screen responded to that and said she probably has something of her own to hide. Either that or the relationship in her eyes has fallen off enough that her friendship means more. That's so crazy. To be with someone for 12 years and this is the reason that your relationship is ending? Whoa. Also, 3 years of being engaged, like, it's so funny to me that people are so, like, specific on how long someone can be engaged for. Like, there's no rule book that you have to follow. There's no laws against how long you should be engaged for and when you should be married. Like, some people, what if you want to be engaged forever? Some people might just be engaged forever and never get married. It's a valid question. I get the question, and obviously I don't think that she was trying to be offensive or anything, but it's just so funny to me whenever I think about, like, the way that society puts, like, invisible rules and parameters on things that aren't even there. It's like, oh, well, that's not what I'm used to. That's not what everyone else does. So why are you doing that? And he had a very valid excuse, but some people just want to do that. Like, it depends when I got engaged. Like, if I would have gotten engaged, I don't know, a couple years ago or something, I probably would have wanted to have a long engagement, and I wouldn't see anything wrong with that. And I feel like, okay, the only thing that changes is that you're planning a wedding and you have a ring on. It's not like anything else really changes other than, like, maybe a little bit more invisible security, because you're like, oh, well, he obviously wants to marry me, so, like, that's good. I guess we're on, like, we're trending upwards. I don't know. But I just feel like it doesn't really matter. If you want to be engaged for 10 years, you could be engaged for 10 years, you know? But I know some people are just very traditional in that way. I'm like the least traditional person ever. I feel like I've told you guys about my wedding plans, which I actually had a dream about my wedding the other day, and I've never had. You know how, like, and I'm not saying this to be a pick-me. I know this is going to sound very pick-me, but people always say, like, I dreamt about my wedding when I was a little girl and stuff. Like, I dreamt about getting married. I never ever thought about getting married or about a wedding until, like, a few years ago. And I still don't even, like, daydream about it. Although I'm very excited. I think it's going to be really fun to get engaged. And, like, I'm just, like, have so many other things that I think about. And, like, I don't know. But when I was little, I never thought about it. And maybe that's because, like, my parents were divorced. So that kind of stuff wasn't really on my radar at all. And it's not like I was, like, going to weddings or anything or seeing any happy relationships in my life. My sister was, like, having like a lot of boyfriends, and it was always like tumultuous, toxic relationships. My mom was having toxic, tumultuous relationships one after the other. Like, my dad and my stepmom got married when I was, like, 7, but it wasn't, like, the most, I don't know. They just both have their own ways of showing love, I guess. Like, they have their own, love language. I don't know. So I never really felt like they were so in love and, like, obsessed with each other when I was younger. Maybe that's why, but I did have a dream about my wedding the other day. I had a dream about my first, like, dance, the daddy-daughter dance, which we're not even gonna have, I don't think. Like, we're gonna have I've told you guys I want to do, like, rent out an Airbnb in, like, a really cool place and have, like, activities for the weekend and, like, have all of our family and friends come stay at the Airbnb, and then have, like, what would be really cool is having, like, an 1800s mansion, like, Victorian style home. If you guys have been to, like, this would be my dream place to get married, but if it wasn't a restaurant and it was just, like, an Airbnb. The Old Pink House in Savannah, it's, like, a restaurant that is, like, I'm pretty sure it's from the 1800s, but it used to be a house. And it still looks like a house, but it's a restaurant now. And there's, like, so many different rooms, and then there's, like, a big room. And I think it'd be so cool to have, like, a weekend all staying in a place like that, like a Victorian style mansion, and then have the ceremony, like, either in the backyard or in, like, the mansion's, like, big room, or if there's, like, a ballroom type of thing, and then do that. I think that would be so fun. And then obviously, like, just have the reception there and, like, have fun, and then go sleep in our rooms and it'd be so fun. Like, that sounds so fun to me. But then I think, like, oh, how hard is that going to be to plan? Like, are people going to be available? Are people going to be able to stay for like 2 nights? I feel like a typical wedding anyways does last like 2 nights, because you have like the night before when you do like the wedding rehearsal and stuff, and then the night after when it's like the wedding. But then this is going to be good because like I personally want to like pay, they won't have to pay for anything other than their flights. Like, I'll have everything else taken care of, which I think would be so fun. And it would be fun for like all of my family and all of Jack's family to hang out. And then also, if it was in like a cool town where we could like do stuff during the day and walk around and do fun activities, ugh, that would just be so fun. We love that. But anyways, that's the end of this episode. I love you guys so much, and I hope you enjoyed that episode. And let me know what you thought in the comments. And I love you. I'll talk to you in the next episode. Bye.
Storytime Society is now available on all listening platforms. If you are on any of those listening platforms, I would really appreciate it if you rated me 5 stars. Thanks for all the support.
Love you guys. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.